Hey, how you doing on this Saturday, November 21st, the Saturday before Thanksgiving? My name is Mike. This is our FBTV live stream. We're going to be doing this periodically, hopefully a couple, 2 or 3 times a week maybe. You may have found us the other day when we were doing a live stream, and we had some audio difficulties right from the word get to go. And actually, when we went back and watched the video, we had some video issues as well. We're trying to get that stuff worked on and corrected. But today you should be able to hear me. Everything says yes, you can hear me. The lighting is the way we get the camera going. That's a lot better than what it was the other day, I believe, up to this point. But we'll see. We'll see as the stream moves forward. Hey, if you want to check us out, freightbrokertv.com. If you've not checked out the website, we have FBTV broadcasting 24/7, and we have FBTV radio. Matter of fact, every morning, Monday through Friday, you can listen to FBTV radio live, mainly because we haven't come up with a name for it yet, our morning broadcast on FBTV radio, but check that out. You can listen by going to the FBTV website. And, maybe I can. Let's see here. If I pull this up and we go here. Bear with me just a second. We're getting there. All right. And, all right, let's pull that into the shot. Said we would. All right, here we are. The FBTV radio, right below the radio here, which you can't see my mouse, but it says FBTV radio right below that. Live Internet Radio Tuner. Well, what you can do there is simply download that app. It's for an iPhone. I'll just tell you that right now. It's for an iPhone. It's an iPhone app. Don't have one for the Droid or any of the other phones, but still, you can find a app on the App Store for the Android. All you need is one that will let you input the URL of the stream, and you'll be able to listen. And here's the stream right here, right there in the blue. It's all set up, everything you need right there in the blue. So that way, whenever you wish, you can take us with you. And if you're on the truck and you're wanting to listen to FBTV radio, you can do so. Just plug it into your, most trucks today, they have Bluetooth. I watch these videos of these guys doing the trucking, and it's so, it's almost like an airplane cockpit anymore. I mean, you still got the dash, but you got the iPads, you got the phones, you got the cameras, you got this, you got that. It's really pretty impressive when you get right down to it, and I wish I could have been part of it. But it is what it is. I'm older now. I've actually thought about buying another truck. Slap me hard. We don't want to do that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there as far as that goes. Okay, what is going on today? Oh, listen, FBTV Insider. We talking about FreightBrokerTV.com. FreightBrokerTV.com is a great place to go. Actually, the reason that site was started, so we could do and provide a lot of content, a lot of information for those starting out in the industry. FBTV is operated, controlled by Taltoa. That's our sponsor anyway. And Taltoa, actually, if you go to Freight Broker TV, and you'll learn a lot about the industry. A lot of videos up there about the industry. Just like the YouTube channel we've got here. And we've got it set up for the give you information about the industry. So you can make a decision on whether, hey, this is right for me, maybe it's not right for me. Hey, this is what I thought it was. Oh, wow, it's not at all what I thought. So you can get that information before taking the step either to become a broker agent, or get into transportation from the business side of it, because we're giving you the information right there. Now, if you decided you want to take that next step, you can come over to Taltoa.com, TALTOA.com, And I should have that pulled up, but I don't. But neither here nor there. You can find it at taltoa.com. That's Taltoa. And there you'll find all these different training packages. And they start at the self-study around, well, less than 200. Then they go up to a webinar, less than 500. And then we get into the live training and consulting packages. Well, they're all consulting. And we do offer consulting for standalone freight brokerages. In other words, you don't need the training. You've already got your business. You're just looking for that extra support. Yes, we do offer that to established freight brokers already. We do websites and things of that nature as well. Check us out, taltoa.com. Now, FBTV Insider. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. The FBTV Insider, you see that on your screen. This is where you can get a lot more content. Now, as far as the content goes on the Insider, we've got the daily news up here. Let me show you that real quick. Then we can go back to our dashboard, and we have best resources section up here. And matter of fact, there are useful links that are shipper directories, and well, actually, if you're interested and you're just starting out, this might be handy for you. DAT load board, access to that for free for a full month, first month free. Depending on which load board you choose, that can be anywhere from $125 to almost $200 value for you. But here's the FBTV Insider here. Now, you can register for the FBTV Insider at no charge. It's free. Okay, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And you get access to all the public content. That's everything we put on the radio, everything we put on YouTube, the whole 9 yards. And, well, you can look down through here. You see well, some of this is insider content only, but a lot of it is all you got to do is register. You'll have access to all that content. Now, if you want access to the Freight Broker Insider content, that's where you're going to get a little bit more. You're going to be have access to the Insider Live broadcast that we do. Getting ready to start doing those. We've been doing them on average about one a week, but we're getting ready to get that in gear a little bit more because we're set up for it now, or we're better set up for it. Let me put it that way. And you're going to have access to, well, like we have FBTV Insider Extras, and Taltoa makes this available to us. Like the extra that's been in here for the last couple of weeks, Freight Broker Agent, how to get a freight broker agent contract. In other words, how to get a job with a freight broker working as an agent. Now, keep in mind, this isn't an employee situation. This is for those that are wanting to work as an independent agent. In other words, one step below being that freight broker. But anyway, there's a lot of information here. You can check it out. Like I say, if you want access to the free content, it's absolutely free. It won't cost you a penny. If you want access to the insider content along with the free content, you get access to everything. Well, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. That's about it. $2.99 a month, less than $25 a year, $24.95 a year, whatever. Now, if you are an insider, you can come up here, click the happy face, and you see right there, come down here to Ask FBTV. And if you got a question or anything, you can type it right there, and it'll come to us, and we will respond. All right? All right, enough of that. Now, I want to remind you, too, if you do have a question, a comment, maybe a message you want to send us, you can do that. All you need to do is email me. Email address is fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. We got to do something with Smike, but maybe that's a little bit better. fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. We have forums on our website, freightbrokertv.com website, and you can even call us. Pick up the phone and call us. Leave a message on our studio line, 479-668-0213. Now, these get-togethers, when we do a live stream, we're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff here. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the FBTV. We're going to be talking about Tautoa, FBTV Insider. Try to talk you into buying some Christmas gifts for your loved ones from our FBTV store. We're going to be talking about things that have no bearing whatsoever on trucking or transportation. Kind of a casual, laid-back, get-together, longer format type program or show, if you will. All right, let's talk about cargo theft. Cargo theft. Reported cargo thefts were down by 18% in the third quarter of 2020, but up 7% in volume compared with the same time period from last year. That's according to the latest report from supply chain security company, Sensitech. And I think I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize to those that I am calling Sensitech. Well, pilferage is the most common type of cargo theft. Now, you may be saying, well, what is pilferage? Well, pilferage is the action of stealing things of little value. And did we talk about that the other day on the radio? I know we talked about it on a radio show podcast, maybe the live stream we did the other day, but there was a guy, don't have it in front of me now, but he had stole something like, what was it, $60,000 in Bic lighters over a period of time. Yeah, he's picking up loads of Bic lighters up there in, where are they based? Massachusetts, Connecticut, I forget now. $60,000. You know how many lighters that is? That's crazy. I think that's about right. It was quite a big deal. That may have started out as pilferage, but turned into something a lot bigger. Let's see, in its latest quarterly report issued this past Thursday, the company recorded 194 cargo thefts from July to September of this year. The report notes that the number of incidents were split fairly even between the 3 months. You know, it's not out of the ordinary for a driver to maybe get something off the truck that's been damaged, going to be trash, thrown away. It reminds me of the time when I was driving, there was an account, and this account was, there's crackers. You know, they sold crackers. Loved those loads, mainly because it was so light. I mean, a full truckload of crackers, good luck if you busted 15,000, 20,000 pounds, you know. But it was common knowledge. As a matter of fact, it was almost expected. We go in to pick up a loaded trailer. Our paperwork, the seal would be in the back of the trailer. If we punched our hand through a case, well, that case would be refused, and we go home with the case of crackers. And it was the same thing with paper products and things of that nature. And, you know, you see it a lot with refrigerated loads. You know, you see these drivers in a truck stop or whatever selling meat out of the back of their trailer, whatever. That, you know, that's stuff that's been refused for whatever reason, or maybe too much for the driver to take home. Now, I'm not saying, okay, this is what you should do. I'm just saying it happens, you know, and more times than not, it's expected to happen. But the Bic lighter thing, that's quite a bit. And keep in mind, too, this was many years ago, and actually that's what we were told to do, you know, when it came to the crackers. You know, punch a hole in the box and take you home a case of crackers. Anyway, for the first time since the second quarter of 2017, home and garden loads were the most stolen product type, accounting for 26% of all reported cargo thefts. Thefts in category were led by appliances, 31%, cleaning products and supplies by 14%. You know, some of these, and I'm going to get into the appliances here, because I can see some of this is misleading. And I think actually what's happening with some of this appliance theft they're talking about, well, you think about it. You know, let's say you put 40, 50 refrigerators on the back of a trailer. There's no way a driver is going to be able to get a refrigerator off the back of his trailer. Not by himself, anyway. But what happens a lot of times, and this happened to me too, and I'll explain that story in a moment, is that the driver didn't take time to either count the refrigerators being put on the trailer, or that driver was just too lazy to get a seal out and put a seal on that trailer door. Because more times than not, when it comes to those large items like that, it's not that they're being stolen. It's more times than not, they never made it to the back of the truck. They never made it on the truck. And if that driver gets to the destination and it's a refrigerator short, and that driver did not seal it, did not verify anything, that's going to go back on the driver, the trucking company. They're going to be responsible for it. They're going to have to pay for it. I think that's a lot of where that appliance, not necessarily theft, just mistakes. You know, one thing about transportation, I don't care if you're just getting into it, you're a driver, you're starting your broker operation, whatever it might be, you've got to cover your own backside. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You've got to cover your own backside. And that's one thing when I'm dealing with my clients going through training that I really emphasize. You've got to protect yourself. Nobody else is going to do it. You've got to cross the T's, dot the I's, and then check it a couple of times to make sure you did cross the T's and you did dot the I's. Otherwise, it can come back and get you. Now, that story that happened to me one time, I had picked up a load of toys or games, and this is my noted $400 Stratego freight bill. Anyway, picked up a load of games somewhere in Northwest. I can't remember where. I think it was Bethlehem Bradley. Who makes Stratego? But anyway, I had 3 stops. And I had 3 seals for each stop. Made the first one, made the second one, no problem. Had seals on them, everything was good. And I had just a couple of minutes to get to my 3rd stop, which was basically just across the street from where I just delivered, and it was in California. I mean, it wasn't very far, but I was scared. If I didn't get there, I was going to have to be there till tomorrow. So instead of taking time and putting the seal on the trailer door, I just closed the door, went on, because it was just right there. Everything else was working out. There's no reason that shouldn't work out. Nothing was going to get stolen between here and half a mile or whatever. Sure enough, I didn't seal it 10 cases short of Stratego. And I can tell you, at that time, 10 cases of Stratego cost $400. And I learned a lesson that day. Seal it. I don't care what it is. Another story I had, I picked up a load of toys. Always toys, isn't it? Picked up a load of, they weren't Fisher-Price toys, but they were something similar, plastic toys for kids. South of Chicago area, up in Indiana somewhere. And it was, I was supposed to stand back there and count. Well, I could count the pallets. But what this shipper had done, they had stacked these pallets with different types of cases. It might be 10 cases of this toy, 10 cases of that toy, and they were all different shapes and sizes. There was no, counting the rows and the depth to be able to calculate how many cases were on that pallet. I was able to calculate the pallet count, the pallet count, yes, but as far as how many cases, I had no clue. There was no way of knowing because I couldn't get down in the middle of that pallet to see how they had it stacked. So it came time to pick up my paperwork, and the lady gave me the paperwork through the window. And I said, do you have a seal for this trailer? And she goes, no, we don't have any seals. I go, okay, I got one. I'll go ahead and get one of my seals. Will you verify it? No, we won't do that. They refused to verify my seal. And right there told me, this is going to be an issue. This is going to be a major problem. because they know that the way they've loaded my trailer, there's no way to know if the exact count's on there or not. And if something's messed up, if their people didn't do it right, they don't want to take responsibility for it. They're going to put it on guess who? The driver. So I said, well, I can't accept this paperwork yet. I got to call my dispatch. Since you won't verify the seal, I called my dispatcher. And I explained. I said, hey, they won't verify. They couldn't believe it either, that they would not verify my seal. So my dispatcher told me, right on the bill of lading, shipper refused to verify seal and write the seal number on it. Basically, you got to protect yourself. Now, I did that, and you talk about a shipper getting ticked off. Man, this lady was mad that I put that on their paperwork. But it was true. And it almost proved my point that, they were trying to put it on the driver. They didn't want to take responsibility for their own mistake. And that's a game that's been played all the way through, well, since the beginning of transporting cargo or freight. It's something that's been going on all the time. But it's kind of wild. We'll get in more stories on these live streams as we go forward in the days to come. But let's see, miscellaneous loads, 16% were the second most common types to be stolen. Electronics were the third most stolen type, accounting for 13% of all loads stolen. It says within that category, more than half of all thefts were televisions and displays or computer components. Televisions are so light today. I mean, you could pick one up. A 10-year-old kid could pick up a 40-inch television. They're just light, nothing to them. For the second straight quarter, Texas topped California as the most stolen from state, according to that report. 20% of the cargo thefts occurring in Texas. California was next with 14%, followed by Florida, Georgia, and Illinois, rounding out the top five. Let's see, the report also notes that for the first time since the final quarter of 2019, pilferage was the most common type of theft. Pilferage reports accounted for nearly half of all reported theft incidents at 47%. Theft of full truckload accounted for 45% of reported incidents. So, pretty interesting. Saw that, and I thought you might be interested in that. Talking about the, now I've got to do this again. Hold on a minute. Let me, I'll show you. Let's see, you're talking about Christmas gifts on the FBTV store. We got all kinds of stuff in there. If you are looking for that perfect Christmas present for you, a loved one, come to the FreightBrokerTV.com store. Up here at the top, right there, you should be seeing it turning red. FBTV store. Click it. It's going to take you to the store. And we have all kinds of FBTV stuff. From coffee mugs to FBTV radio mugs, tank tops, FBTV t-shirts, phone covers, hoodies, more t-shirts. Check it out, FBTV, Freight Broker TV. If you want to get to it, all you got to do is come up to the I'll get it here in a minute, FreightBrokerTV.com. Click on the FBTV store, and you will be good to go. Yeah, still getting used to doing all this switching and make sure we got the right stuff up. And as we do these, it'll get better and better. Just going to take time. California Appeals Court rules motor carriers not exempt from AB5. AB5 was the big thing about reclassifying owner-operators as employees. I said on November 19th, a couple of days ago, a 3-judge panel of the State Appeals Court said that motor carriers must abide by a new California law known as Assembly Bill 5. This bill has raised serious concerns among trucking companies because the trucking company, or trucking industry attorneys, I should say, have said the law makes it nearly impossible to use independent contractors. Now, Independent contractor. What a true independent contractor is in trucking, as far as way I've always seen it, was one that was an owner operator leased onto a trucking company, running under that trucking company's authority. Now, here's where the problem comes in. AB 5, originally stated to go into effect on January 1st, requires that carriers use a 3-pronged ABC test that CTA and others have said would virtually make it impossible to use independent contractors. Here's the ABC test. The employer demonstrates that the worker is free from the control of the hiring entity. The worker performs work outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. The worker is customarily engaged in an independent trade or occupation. Now, the second part of this test is the one that most of the trucking companies said they found impossible. And the second part is the worker performs work outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. Well, if you're an owner-operator contracted onto a trucking company, well, you're going to lease onto one trucking company. You're going to be leased onto several. Just that one. So, yeah, I can see a problem there. I don't get it. Now, I think what this, at least I hope so, what they're really getting at is that they're trying to put a stop to trucking companies that are hiring drivers to drive their trucks, but hiring them as contract labor. Okay. Yeah, we're going to pay you 100% of what you make, no taxes withheld. Here you go. See you later. Go do your job. Okay, that I get. Matter of fact, I totally understand why. The system set up when it comes to trucking, and I'm sure in California, as expensive as it is to live there, it's probably really out of control. But the system set up, the government pretty much wants you to be small or huge. They don't care much for that in-between stuff. You know, that's when I had a small fleet, that's what got me more than anything, because I wasn't a one truck outfit. I had a small fleet, but not big enough to get over the hump. And the money I had to spend was ridiculous. Yes, I can see why a lot of these trucking companies would want to hire drivers as independent contractors to drive their truck. Not to, so they could avoid the payroll taxes and things like that, because once you start getting involved in that, it gets expensive. It can anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. So how are you spending the Thanksgiving holiday this year? Any idea yet? Well, Overdrive, the website, overdrive.com, I believe it is, they have a poll, and we watch their polls. Sometimes they're pretty good. But this one, the poll, how are you spending the Thanksgiving holiday this year? 72% said they're going to be at home or away with family and friends. 19% said they would be on the road working. 7% said other, whatever other might be. And 2% said they would be on the road but not working. Time off, vacation time. So where do you fall into that? Actually, I thought it was going to be, I thought I'd be a little bit more on the road working. Some of that, I believe that 72%, a lot of drivers wishful thinking. They're hoping they get home. And, they're going to deliver Monday. People are going to be out there delivering Monday. These drivers are. And that is, that's going to be their, they get unloaded. They're going to find out real quick, are they coming home for the holiday or not, depending on the next load they have to pick up. And some will be disappointed. I was out for holidays. I want two that I remember. One was Thanksgiving. And I was out another time on Christmas. Christmas Eve. I spent Christmas Eve up in Northern California. I was on my way home. I was planning on being home, but I couldn't get home because I delivered up in, I think, Washington State somewhere. picked up the load, and the landslides and everything else going on up there at the time, I wasn't able to get out my usual way, so I had to drop down, go through California to be able to get back this way, but neither here nor there. But if you're going to be out on Thanksgiving, you're going to be up in Idaho, Boise, Idaho, on Thanksgiving Day. The Boise Stage Stop is going to be treating you to a free Thanksgiving dinner if you're a driver with the CDL. Drivers will also have an opportunity to win prizes during the Driver Appreciation event. This year marks the 14th year in a row that the Boise Stage Stop has been treating truckers to a Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not going to go into my spiel about it. I think they did it before because I've done. I've talked about this several times over the last few days. And I know that I want to. Sometime I think I'll call them. Didn't you all do this back in the '90s? But anyway, if you're out on the road, I don't care if you're in your personal vehicle traveling to grandma's over the holiday. If you're in your big truck, DOT, it's click it or ticket time. So make sure you're buckled up for safety. That's going to be going on through the 29th. Nationwide effort will increase police patrols on roadways to enforce click it or ticket. All right, anything else here we need to talk about to get us through? No. I believe that's going to do it for today. Well, let's go through birthdays real quick. This is pretty interesting. If you're having a birthday, happy birthday to you too. Who else is celebrating a birthday today? And today is November 21st, Saturday the 21st. This day back 100 years ago, Stan Musial of the Cardinals was born. He played baseball. Joseph Campanella. He was on Mannix. Remember Lou on Mannix? He was born this date back in 1924. Marlo Thomas. She is 83 years young. I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure she is. She's still married to Phil Donahue. How old is Phil Donahue? Holy smoke. If she's 83, I miss old Phil. He is, am I pronouncing it right? Yeah. He's 84. His birthday's coming up next month, December 21st. I used to like watching Phil Donahue show. The others, the ones that threw chairs around and all that, it was interesting the first show or two, but after that it got boring. Dr. John, we just lost him a little over a year ago. Right place, wrong time. He was born in 1940. Juliet Mills, she was Phoebe on Nanny and the Professor. She's having a birthday today. Tweety Bird, I thought Putty Cat. 1942, 78 years old today. Earl the Pearl Monroe played for the Knickerbockers basketball. He's 76. Harold Ramis from Ghostbusters and a lot of other great movies. He was born on this date back in 1944. Kurt Russell's main squeeze, Goldie Hawn, born on this date back in 1945. Nicolette Sheridan, 1963. Troy Aikman. I think this one got me the most. He was born on this date back in 1966. Seems like yesterday we was watching Troy get hurt, come out of the game when it was obvious the Cowboys weren't going to win. At least that's the way I saw it back then. Anyway, he's 54 today. King Griffey Jr., baseball player for the Mariners. He's 51 today. Michael Strahan, football player / TV host. He's 49 today. Not much going on in history today, but the big thing that stands out, you may remember this. This date back 40 years ago today. That's sad. 40 years ago today. The Who Shot JR episode of Dallas premiered on CBS. All right. I think we've taken up enough of your time. But this kind of thing, this is the kind of thing that these live streams are going to be about. We're going to be talking about a little bit of transportation, going to be talking about some freight broker stuff, trucking stuff, personal stories, history, news, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today, Saturday, November 21st, FBTV, our live stream. Listen, go have a great weekend, unless you've made other plans. See you later.